Welcome, 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 everyone. It's the first edition of the Everything Bagel podcast. I am your host, Gavin Cloud, joined by my co-host,
Nathan Miller.
And today we're going to be doing a little recap on the Super Bowl. Isn't that right? Would you like to talk about some of the things we're going to be speaking about today?
Yes, that's right. We got four really interesting topics to talk about here. They're going to get us started with the why the Seahawks won, what they did well, and what they weren't successful on. We got what was the most important stat in the game. A lot of interesting stats on both sides of the ball here. We got the comparison to the two quarterbacks. It's a lot closer than you think on who had that better game, Drake May or Sam Darnold. And we're gonna close this thing off with a little halftime review.
Yeah, might be the most
controversial.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good time for sure. So let's get us started. We're gonna talk about why the Seahawks won. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started with my opinion on why the Seahawks won, which I think is due to the Patriots' struggles on the offensive side of the ball, especially in the first half. They started off first half, 0 points. The first half shutout. Even through three quarters, they couldn't score. In the entire first half, they had 51 yards in the entire first half gained, second worst in Super Bowl history.
Oh, that's awful.
They passed for 48 yards. Drake May was the little light at the end of the tunnel, we'll say. He was 6 for 11 throwing, so not terrible completion percentage, but 48 yards is not great. 33 rushing yards, so a lot of lost yards through this point to get us to only 51 total. They only had 4 first downs the entire first half. They allowed 3 sacks, but really those 4 first downs didn't lead to anything. They punted 8 times in the first half. I believe that's every single time they had the ball in the first half they punted. So not a good first half for them.
Absolutely not. I mean, do you think it was all the offense, though? Do you think it's the offensive struggles, or do you think it was the defense and how much of a stellar game they played?
I think the Seahawks played a great defensive game, but I do think that a lot of that was just Drake May and the Patriots not being able to convert on offense. There was a lot of opportunities, I think, where Drake May had open passes and just couldn't make the right pass, or when his receivers just couldn't catch the ball. So I don't think it was necessarily the Seahawks defense, which I do think they had a great game, obviously, with three sacks in that first half. That's good defense, but I don't think that they were as great as people are talking them up to be. I think that the Patriots were just that poor on offense.
Okay. I mean, if you look at it, though, Seahawks had 6 sacks throughout the entire game, correct?
That's right.
You don't just get 6 sacks in a game against a Super Bowl caliber offensive line.
That's true.
If you're not having a really, really good game, right? It's just not going to happen, right? You don't cause 3 turnovers. You don't have 3 takeaways if you're not having a great game, right? So Seahawks, I think their defense really stepped up, really showed out. I mean, they held them scoreless through 3 quarters.
That's right. Yeah, no, they did not score until late. It's middle of that fourth quarter. So
yeah. So I mean, while the offense struggled and had its own problems, I think those problems rooted from that defense and how dominant they played throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, just all in all, just definitely a rough first half of the Patriots, and they definitely did have an impressive defensive performance. Next up, we've got the most important stat in the game. You want to start us off with that?
Sure. This goes back to what I was saying on the last segment, but the turnover differential. The Seahawks had 3 forced turnovers throughout the game to the Patriots 0, right? You get 3 extra possessions on the ball from your defense. It's almost hard. It's almost hard to lose the game, right? You are getting given more opportunities to see the field as an offensive, powerhouse. They were a powerhouse throughout the entire season.
Definitely.
They were 14-3. They had an amazing offense all season long. And while it didn't fully contribute into the Super Bowl because they did only score 12 points up until late in the game, I mean, pretty down at the end, right? They had 29 points. Sam Darnold only had 1 passing touchdown.
Yeah.
But when you get 3 extra possessions given to you and you don't turn that ball over, I feel like it's almost hard to lose at that point.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go ahead and say my opinion is that the most important stat of the game were those 4 field goals that they made throughout those first 3 quarters. Really, it was able to keep them ahead in a game where they were playing better offensively than the Patriots, obviously, but not great. They weren't having the best offensive game. They'd only gone for 150 yards in that first half. That's an okay first half. That's a decent first half. It's not a great first half though. That wasn't pushing them over the edge, you know. So those field goals really kept them in the game, kept them up in the game, and kept the momentum onto their side, eventually allowing them to take full control of the game. But up until the beginning of the fourth quarter, like without those field goals they made early, I don't know if they even have the momentum to score a touchdown. And
yeah, I don't know if they close the game out the same.
I don't know if they do. And I think that the Patriots, had they not been down all those points at the time of them scoring their first touchdown, I don't know if they might have been able to rally and get a little comeback going. So,
biggest part of sports, in my opinion, is how you're feeling at that time. If you go into a game and you feel, not good, and you don't have good energy coming at you, right? You're not going to play as well.
No, definitely not.
When you're losing by multiple possessions in the Super Bowl, you're not going to play as well.
No, for sure. So
you're just not all there.
Yeah.
It is the fourth quarter, you're down, you're going to lose, you're already out of the game at that point. Your mind is in the same place.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. And you could see it on the field there. You could see. They knew they lost.
You could see, yeah. I mean, when... who scored the touchdown at the end of the game? I think it was their running back. He caught a little pass from Drake May.
Yeah, no, it was, yep.
I mean, you could just see the energy once he got into the end zone. It just was not the same as how it was played throughout the game.
Yeah, no. Nope.
Once you're down and you're kind of expecting to lose, it's hard to build back from that. And build that motivation and momentum back. And I think that's honestly what happened. The Seahawks had it. The Patriots didn't. And then eventually you got to split ways. One's got to win, one's got to lose. Yep. One's got to fall back, one's got to fall ahead.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we got the comparison between the two quarterbacks, and I have some really interesting statistics on this right here. Stuff that you guys, you probably wouldn't even think about, to be honest. So everybody would say, you ask anybody, they'd say, "Oh, Sam Darnold had the better game. He didn't throw an interception. Drake May threw 2. But if you really go through and look at the statistics, it looks like Drake May had a better game. I mean, if you look at it, Sam Darnold had a 50% completion rate, which is good. Not great. He was 19 for 38. Okay, that's decent. Drake May was 27 for 43 with a 63% completion rate. He threw for almost 300 yards. Sam Darnold only threw for 200. He had 1 passing touchdown to Drake May's 2. And, we see those 2 interceptions that Drake May threw to Sam Darnold's none. But, overall, I mean, Drake May rushed for 37 yards. Those were big rushing yards that he got there towards the end of the game. Drake May's quarterback rating was 5 points higher than Sam Darnold's. Now, anybody watching the game, you'd know that Sam Darnold had a better game. I mean, most of Drake May's statistics came in that end of that fourth quarter when the Seahawks were up multiple possessions, and the game was pretty much over. I mean, in the first half, Drake May didn't even throw for 50 yards. The game was over by the time he was building these statistics up. But it's really interesting to look at somebody who didn't watch the game, and people in 5-10 years from now are going to look at these statistics and say, "Well, Drake May did his job. He had a good game. What happened with the Patriots?" If you didn't watch the game, it really does look like Drake May had a good game.
You know what I think, Nathan?
What?
The quarterback who plays the best is the quarterback who wins, right? You might not have the best statistical game at quarterback, right? Like Sam Darnold only had 202 passing yards. It's a good game. It's not bad. It's solid. It's up there, but it's not 400, right? 1 passing touchdown isn't 4 passing touchdowns. But he won the game. He managed the game well enough to secure a Super Bowl for the Seattle City. The Seattle Seahawks won that game And because of that, I'd say that Sam Darnold. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Sam Darnold had a better game.
I agree with that point. I mean, seriously, like in the Super Bowl, in general, if your team wins that game, it doesn't matter whose statistics were better. It doesn't matter. The fans are thrilled to have won that game. That game comes down. Whoever had the better game that game, it comes down to who won that game. It's not about the stats. It's
Maybe
about
a regular season game, you can make the case. Of all right, Patrick Mahomes had 450 yards to Tyrone Taylor's 175. Right? Like, obviously, Patrick Mahomes had a better game, but he might not have won. I'm just making up a scenario here. Right? But in the Super Bowl, the only thing that matters is who comes out on top.
Agreed.
And the quarterback is typically the person who gets that job done.
The person who's responsible for getting that job done for the most part.
They have to manage the game correctly in order to win.
Yeah. All right. Last up, we got the halftime show.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So Bad Bunny. You want to talk about Bad Bunny a little bit?
I want to start off with the other half.
You want to start off with okay? Let's start off with the Turning Point USA halftime show.
That is the one that I watched live, right? The people I was with, and that's the type of music that everybody collectively liked. So that was the halftime show that we wanted to watch live because that's the music we wanted to listen to, right? And I thought that it was amazing. I thought they put on that performance and they played their role perfectly. They did not have 137 million viewers like the actual Super Bowl halftime show. But they did have 6.
They had 6 at one time. They actually had 25 million total.
Right. 6 million people watching it at one time was the peak. 25 million different people did tune in. That is crazy numbers.
That's a lot of
YouTube
viewers.
Live stream.
Yeah.
That was taking place for 25 minutes during a Super Bowl. And 6 million people turned that on.
Yeah.
If you don't call that a success, I don't know what planet you're living on.
I don't know. I think, and I watched it too. And to be honest, I mean, I'm a big country guy. I like country music.
Exactly. I like country music. I like rock music. That's why I listen to that.
I like it. And I wish maybe in the future we can get some country music at the Super Bowl.
It's been a while. It's been a lot of rap recently.
It has.
It's been Shakira and J-Lo and Justin Timberlake, I'm pretty sure, which I like. I like Justin Timberlake.
I'm good. But just to bring it back, 25 million viewers is a lot of viewers for a non-Super Bowl sponsored halftime show.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we had Bad Bunny's performance.
And it was not my favorite. I went back once I got home and I put it up on my TV. But I watched it from a YouTube video, and it was a stand cam. It was somebody that was recording it from the bleachers, right, inside the stadium. And I just have to say how bad I feel for the people that paid $500 who are excited to watch not only the Super Bowl, but the halftime show, because that is a huge event nowadays. People will go to the Super Bowl just to see that halftime show. And you couldn't even see them.
You couldn't know.
You couldn't.
No.
From the stadium, inside the stadium, you could not see them until almost halfway through.
Yeah.
Now, what type of performance is that, Nathan?
It's to me, it's a performance catered to the people at home, the people watching on TV.
Which there's a lot more of, right?
Yeah.
But those people are watching for free.
Yeah.
The people who are in the stadium is what matter.
I agree. I think
the people who are at home could have seen just as much as they did if it was
for the whole
and everybody could see.
Yeah. I think the people who paid all that money should be the ones that are having the event catered to them. Since they're actually there in person, they paid to go to that event. They wanted to see it. Everything about that event should be as open as possible for them to see. Like they paid all that money. They wanted to be there. These people spent, upwards of $500 to sit in the nosebleeds of these stadiums. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's more money than most people pay to sit courtside in a regular season game.
Yeah.
So, you got to think, that's a lot of money, and they should have these things catered to them.
Yeah.
Not to the people watching from home. But the actual performance itself.
Not going to lie, Nathan, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite. obviously, like, I didn't understand the words,
Yeah.
but I like the beats. The beats were good. That's what
I like
matters.
I
to me
like
a lot.
Spanish music. I do.
It was groovy.
Sometimes you can put it on and you really can get into it. I do think that I do think there's something to it. I watched it back too. I saw it. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was
My
incredible.
favorite song was the last song.
Yeah, no, it was good.
I really liked it how they came out with all the flags. I did like that the American flag was flown first.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. That was the one that was run through with in the lead. Biased because, I'm an American through and through. I'm very patriotic. And I believe that if you're in America, the American flag should be the biggest flag. It should be the
at the
flag
Super
that's
Bowl,
put on display.
At the Super Bowl, we sing the national anthem at the beginning of the game. The first flag that should be there should be the American flag.
100%. But I absolutely loved that all the flags were there. He said, "God bless America," and he said, "God bless." I think he started it with Argentina and then a bunch of other countries.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think every single person does agree with.
I do.
That every
I agree
person
with that as well.
on this planet does deserve to be blessed by God. And every single person on this planet is blessed by God.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
And I think that part of it, it really showed the camaraderie the United States has as a nation. And with that being said, Nathan, I think that wraps up our first episode, don't you think?
I do. I think so. This has been a great episode.
Thank you to all the lovely ladies and fine gentlemen who tuned into this podcast. Have a great one.
Yep. See ya.